This week, I'm going to lead you through a full body practice focusing on twists. We're going to start from seated, slowly build up towards standing twists, and in the end, we're going to relax with slightly deeper releasing twists lying down. Let's get started. For this week's practice, you don't necessarily need any props. However, if you like to use a block or maybe a cushion under the pelvis when you're seated, then you are more than welcome to bring in those for your practice. And our first pose is a seated pose. It could be cross-legged, or you could sit on your knees, wherever you can find an easy shape for your hips, your back, your shoulders. And then once you have that seat, just take a few slightly deeper breaths, slower breaths. You could roll the shoulders a few times, just letting yourself settle in that first pose. And then we're going to bring arms down next to the sides. And we're going to continue breathing, but we're going to incorporate some movements right here in the beginning. So with your next in-breath, lengthen arms up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, release the arms sideways down. We'll repeat this another few times. As you breathe in, lengthen arms up. You can let your gaze follow the hands. Exhale, release the arms down. Let the tops of the shoulders stay soft. 2 more times. As you breathe in, arms floating up, lengthening up through the back. Exhale, bring the arms down. One last time with your in-breath, arms lengthen up. And then breathing out, arms come down. You could roll the shoulders. And we're going to go into our first twist. Now bring your left hand onto your right knee or thigh and walk your right hand behind you, either fingers or the whole hand on the mat. As you breathe in, imagine you're lifting your head just a bit higher up. And then exhale, twist out to the right. Focus on turning through your ribs, turning your chest bone to the right. It might be that your pelvis moves, your pelvis twists slightly. Take another couple of breaths here. You might turn your gaze to the right, maybe over the right shoulder if you want. But that's very optional. With your next breath out, slowly release the twist, come back to center. And we'll do the same to the other side. Bring your right hand on the left knee or thigh, and then walk your left hand behind you. As you breathe in, imagine you're lifting your head just a bit higher, keeping your neck long, and exhale, gently twist out to the left. And with each out breath, you might go just a bit further into that twist. Again, focus on twisting through the upper spine, maybe turning your head as well. But if that starts to tense the neck, then don't force it. Take one more breath in and out. And then with your next out breath, slowly come back to center. And bring your hands onto your knees. So right hand somewhere on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. And then we start to circle the chest. And also you can start to circle the weight from one buttock to the other. Just creating circles in the air with your chest bone. So you're rounding your spine as you lean back. You're opening your chest as you lean forward. And then let your neck, your head start to follow those movements. Breathing in and out. Notice where along that circle you breathe in. where along that circle you breathe out. And then from an easy place, change the direction. So you continue circling, but going the opposite way. Keep tops of the shoulders soft here as well. And just let your whole spine, let your hips, your shoulders follow that circling motion. Another couple of breaths, another couple of circles. And then bring yourself to center. And from your seat, bring yourself onto all fours, onto hands and knees. Hands roughly under your shoulders, knees roughly under your hips. And we're going to do a couple of cat-cows. With your exhalation, round your spine up towards the ceiling and see if you can tuck the tail under, bring your chin towards the chest. Pause here to breathe. With your next exhalation, start to open your chest, finding a back bend. And here you can imagine you're turning or lifting your tail up. You might be looking forward, you might be even looking higher up. Again, pause here to breathe. Hands, arms pressing the floor away. Same again, as you breathe out, round your spine into the cat pose. Hands and arms pressing down, knees, your legs pressing down. Take another breath in. And then exhale again, open the chest, finding that back bend. Imagine you're gently pulling your chest forward. So we're not just crunching the back, we're trying to maintain some length through the spine. Tops of the shoulders gently drawn away from the shoulders. One last round. As you breathe out, round the spine and keep breathing. We are going to stay here a couple of breaths. So we're not holding the breath, we're breathing all the time. And you could use your in breaths to create more space across the ribs in the upper back. And then one more exhalation to open the chest. Find one more back bend, one more cow pose. Opening through the chest. You can turn tail up. And here you can breathe towards the chest, towards the front ribs. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, lean your pelvis down towards the feet. Find a child's pose. And for a moment, release the weight, release the pressure of your hands and your wrists. If you want, you could even bring hands together, bending elbows, and then a few times circling the wrists. If you feel that the wrists need some movement, take another breath in and out. And then bring your hands back onto the mat and lift yourself onto hands and knees. We're going to go into our next twist, which is the thread the needle pose. And we're going to leave the left hand on the mat first. Then inhale, reach right arm up, twisting out to the right. You might even look up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, now slide your right arm under the left arm so that you're leaning your right shoulder, the side of the head on the mat. And you can either leave your left hand where it is, or you might extend the left arm over the head. So keeping fingers, hands on the mat. Or the last option would be to wrap your left arm, left hand kind of behind and around the pelvis, behind the back, maybe reaching the hand towards the right thigh. And breathe here. And let those breaths release into the twist. Whether you feel it more in the shoulders, maybe along the spine, even down in the hips. Take another breath in and out. And then if you have your left arm over the head or behind the back, slowly bring your left hand back down on the mat. And as you inhale, press down through that left arm and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale slowly. Bring your both hands down on the mat. And we're going to do the same to the other side. So now leave your right hand on the mat. And as you inhale, reach the left arm up, twisting to the left. Pause here to breathe. Pressing down through the right arm. As you exhale, slide your left arm under the right arm. Now lean your left shoulder, lean the left side of the head on the mat. And again, you might leave right hand down, so even gently pressing on the mat. Or extend right arm overhead along the floor. Or again, you can choose to bring your right arm behind the back and maybe reach right hand towards that left thigh. So it's like a gentle bind. And keep breathing here. Check that you're not collapsed on the neck. Maybe the left shoulder needs to slightly press down onto the mat. Take one more breath in and out in your twist. Then slowly, as you exhale, bring the right hand back on the mat. Press down through the right hand. As you inhale, reach left arm up, twisting out to the left. And then exhale, bring both hands to the mat. Find your hands roughly under the shoulders, knees roughly under the hips. We're going to lift into a downward dog. We'll tuck the toes under and lift the pelvis up. Finding some weight onto the feet. You could pedal the feet a few times. You could walk from one hand to the other a few times. And then we'll try a bit of twisting, rotating from side to side in the feet, in the lower body. So bring your feet roughly hip width apart, knees could be bent. And then bring your both heels towards the right side of the mat. And then you might reach the pelvis up again. It's going to both feet, toes pointing to the left, heels turn towards the right side of the mat. And then breathe in and out. Change your heels to the left side of the mat. And again, you might still reach the pelvis up and back. Could be a nice opening for the side body. You might even peek under the right armpit here. And then breathe in and out. Come back to center. Back to downward dog in the center. And from this downward dog, we're going to step the left foot forward. So we'll step the left foot all the way forward to hands to the outside of the left hand. And we'll bring the right knee onto the mat. Now we'll go into the winged dragon. So you could release your right foot toes and then keep that left foot maybe on the side of the mat and slightly start to rotate that left hip open. Now we're going to bring left hand on the left knee or thigh and just open that left hip slightly, open the chest and keep weight on the right hand. And just take a few breaths here. You might find some opening in the inside of that left leg in the chest space. You might drop the weight more to the outside of that left foot. And exhale, close your chest, bring that left foot on the mat. And then leave your left hand on the inside of that left foot. We're going to now bend the right knee and bring the right foot to the left side of the mat. So you're kind of rotating both hips open. And then inhale, twist out to the right. You can either reach up through that right arm, or you can bring right arm behind the back, maybe again reaching for the left thigh. And you decide how much you want to lean weight forward onto that left foot. It might be quite intense in the inner thigh. Maybe you want to focus more on just opening the chest. Take another breath in and out. If your neck gets tense, you can always look down to the mat. And then as you exhale, release your hands down. Bring your right foot toes back on the mat. Lift the right knee off the mat. And we're going to step back into downward dog. You can take a couple of breaths here. Shake the head, feel the weight of the head. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So now we'll step the right foot forward. Again, you could step it all the way to the outside of the right hand, so it's further on the side. Bring left knee on the mat. You can release the toes. And then we'll leave more weight onto the left hand. You could bring your right hand on the right knee or thigh. And then start to open that right hip. So you can rotate the hip open. You can even shift the weight more onto the outside of the right foot. And you might lean your chest away from the right thigh. Keep the left arm active. Check you're not locking the elbow. So maybe a slight bend in that left elbow. Again. Keeping tops of the shoulders soft. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly exhale. Close the chest. Bring the right foot back on the mat. And now leave your right hand on the inside of the right foot. We're going to bend the left knee and then rotate the left hip open so your left foot goes over or to the right side of the mat. And from here, as you inhale, now open your chest out to the left. And you can either reach up through the left arm, or you might bring left arm behind the back, even reach for the right thigh. So there could be that gentle bind again going on. And if you want, you might lean more weight on the front leg, front foot. And let that right arm support your right leg and that rotation open in the hip. Breathing in and out. Let the breath flow down to the chest, maybe all the way down to the belly area. Take another breath here. And then slowly, as you exhale, release the pose, release the twist. Bring hands to the mat. Bring left foot on the mat so that you can tuck the toes under, lift the knee off the mat, and step into one more downward dog here. Transition downward dog. You can shake the head. And then we're going to walk hands to the feet. So walking towards the back of the mat, towards the feet, arriving in the full forward bend. Now, if you want, you can slightly bend your knees. That might help you to bring belly closer to the thighs. You might also decide you want to extend the legs. Keep fronts of the legs active. You could keep hands on the mat, or you could take hold of your opposite elbow. Like a ragdoll pose, you might even slightly rock, swing the upper body from side to side. Feel that weight on your feet and press down
So you're pressing the mat, the floor away with your feet, with your legs. Take another breath in and out here. And then slowly, slowly bend the knees quite deeply. Exhale. And as you inhale, start to roll the back up. You can release the arms on the way. If you want, you might even lengthen arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release the arms down. You can roll the shoulders a couple of times. And then we're going to continue with some standing twists. And we're going to go into the standing twisted chair first. I'll turn slightly diagonally towards you so you can see better. Now you have an option to have your feet together, or you could have your feet hip width apart. Where do you feel more stable, more comfortable? And then as you inhale, lengthen arms overhead, open the chest. As you exhale, bend your knees, bring palms together in front of the chest. So finding your chair pose and send the pelvis back. You might even lift your toes off the mat. Check there's some weight on the heels, there's some weight on the balls of the feet. Pause here for another breath. Then we're going to twist out to the left. We're going to bring left, so the back of the right hand to the left knee or thigh. And then inhale, open the chest out to the left. And you can either reach the left arm up, or like before, you can choose to bring the left arm behind the back. You don't need to go deep into the chair, by keeping a slight bend in the knees and a long line from the crown of the head down to the tail, and then twisting the spine around its axis. Take another breath in and out. And exhale. Come back to center, still staying in the chair. We're going to make the legs work a bit harder here. And we're going to twist to the other side. So now bring the back of your left hand to the outside of your right knee or thigh. And then as you inhale, twist out to the right. Right arm can lengthen up, or you can bring right arm behind the back. And breathing here. Don't let the left hand push the right knee in, so the right leg slightly pushing against that left hand. So they're both coming towards each other. And breathe 2 more times here, in and out. Breathing with the full length of the spine. And then as you exhale, slowly come back to center. Bring palms together. And now as you exhale, bend down into that full forward bend again. Shake the head a bit. You can gently swing upper body from side to side. Again, maybe knees just a bit bent. And then slowly we'll start to roll the back up. You can bend the knees. Inhale, roll up. Maybe reach arms up. And exhale, release the arms down. You could roll the shoulders a couple of times. Then we're going to go into some high lunges and warrior twos with a twisting motion. So on the first side, we're going to now step the right foot forward, quite far forward, so we can find our high lunge. And throughout this little flow we're going to do next, you can always adjust your feet, so keep your feet mobile. Now first, we're going to bring the left hand down on the mat and then twist out to the right. Just see if you need to adjust your feet here. And from here, we're going to windmill the right hand towards the pelvis. Then lift the left hand off the mat. And now turn left foot on the mat. Inhale all the way up. And continue into a reverse warrior, reaching the right arm up, keeping the right knee bent, left leg straight. You might look to your left foot. And then we're going to windmill the arms back down. And we're going to reach the right arm up. Left hand comes down, going back to that twist. Left heel comes off the mat. So that would be one full round. We're going to repeat a few times. Now we're going to again windmill the right hand to the pelvis. Turn left foot down, inhaling all the way up into that warrior two and reverse warrior. Right arm reaching up, finding some side bending. And as you exhale, windmill the arms down. Turn your left heel up. Bring left hand down, right arm reaching up. We'll do another 3 rounds. Follow your breath. You're inhaling up, turning the left foot down on the mat. And then side bending over the left leg. Exhaling, we go down. We windmill the arms again. Left heel turns up. And twisting out to the right. 2 more times. Windmill the arms, bring left heel down. You're going to let your gaze follow the movement. And exhaling down again, turning left heel up. Twisting out to the right. 1 more round with your own breath. Windmill the arms, turn your left foot down, lifting up, opening the chest, side bend. And then exhaling 1 more time down, turning the left heel up, twisting out to the right. And then bring both hands to the mat and step both legs back. Downward dog, you can shake the head a bit. And then bring your knees down and round the back into child's pose. Take the pressure, the weight of your hands, off your feet for a few breaths. Head can lean down to the mat, or you can bring hands under the head. And just let the breath calm down. Notice how that right leg feels. Notice how your left leg feels. And then we'll prepare for the other side. So now from your child's pose, bring yourself back onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, lift into a brief downward dog. It might be nice to move the feet a bit here. And we'll do again 5 windmill rounds to the other side. The first one is going to be slower. It's just testing the movement. Now we're going to step the left foot forward, and we are already down here. Remember, you can move, and I recommend moving your feet as much as needed. And we're going to have right hand down, and we're going to twist out to the left. So now left arm reaching up. Again, you might follow maybe your hands with your gaze. It might give a focus point for your gaze. Now inhale. And as you exhale, start to bring your left hand towards the left hip. Turn right foot on the mat. And then right arm reaches up and over into that reverse warrior. And right hand can lean on the right leg. Left arm reaching up. So legs in warrior two. Upper body leaning into that reverse warrior. Then as you exhale, windmill arms back down. Left hand guiding. Turn right heel up. Bring your right hand down and twisting back out to the left. So that's our 1 round. Same again. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Turn right foot on the mat. And as you inhale, lift yourself up. And continue into that reverse warrior, keeping the left knee bent. As you exhale, start to move back down towards the mat. Turning the right heel up, right hand comes down. Inhale when you twist out to the left. 3 more rounds. Exhale the left arm down. Turn your right heel down and then inhaling up. Good. Exhale into that side bend. And the next exhalation, we start to go back down. Again, windmill the arms. Turn your right foot. Right hand comes down, twisting to the left. Keep breathing. We do 2 more rounds, so follow your own breath. Bring the right foot down. Arms windmill. Keep rotating the left hip open, so we're not twisting from the knees. And then exhaling down. You might move slower, you might move faster than I do. Follow your own breath. Inhale into that twist on the left. Last time. You can windmill the arms, bring the right foot, right heel down. 1 more side bend. And exhaling down. Windmill the arms. Twisting once more out to the left. And then bring both hands to the mat. And now we're going to step into a plank. And we're going to go all the way down onto the belly. So slowly lower yourself down. And take a moment to rest here. You can bring hands under head if you want, or turn one cheek on the mat. And take a few breaths here again. Just observe how your left leg feels now, how the left hip feels, how your spine, your back feel. And what about the right leg here? And then we're going to move into the twisted cobra pose. We're going to first bring left hand under the left shoulder and extend the right arm overhead, both palms gently pressing down. As you inhale, peel your chest off the mat. At the same time, twist out to the left and try to keep your legs long, maybe legs even pressing onto the mat. And exhale, lower down. Change arms the other way around. Head and feet reach away from each other. As you inhale, peel the chest off the mat. You could lightly press down through the front of the pelvis. And exhale, lower down. So trying to keep your lower back long. Engagement in the core. Change arms the other way around. Again, with your next in-breath, peel the chest off the mat and then twist out to the left. You might even look to the left or look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release down. And change the arms the other way around. And as you inhale, peel the chest off the mat, twisting to the right. We don't need to lift higher up. You're going to stay low down, just a gentle opening. Exhaling down. 1 more time to both sides. So change the arms, keep your neck long. And as you inhale, lift just slightly off the mat and then twisting out to the left. Allow your upper spine to move. Exhale, release down. And then last time we go out to the right. Change arms first. Keep tops of the shoulders, the neck soft. And inhale 1 more time. Twisting away from the mat. Opening through the front. And then exhaling, release down. And again, you could bring hands under the head or turn the other cheek on the mat. Then rest your head down, soften the neck, the shoulders. You gently rock the pelvis a bit from side to side. then slowly with your next few breaths, we're going to come back onto hands and knees and into our last downward dog. So lift yourself onto hands and knees. You can adjust your hands and your feet and then lift into downward dog. And this is going to be our last, the twisted downward dog. So first, you might open your feet a bit wider. That might make the pose more stable. You might bring your left hand a bit more in the middle as we reach right hand towards the left ankle or knee or shin. And then see if you could take hold of that left leg and just gently open your chest out to the left. If you start to feel that's too much for the arms, we've had enough of downward dogs, you can always come down onto hands and knees and go back into that thread the needle that we did earlier. If it's okay here in downward dog, take another couple of breaths. Keeping the neck still soft, so heavy head dropping down. And then exhale, release. Bring both hands to the mat. And we'll do the same to the other side. You might step your right hand a bit closer to the center and then reach left hand towards the right leg. And could be ankle, could be knee, could be shin. And then as you inhale, see if you could twist a bit out to the right. So you're using your hands, especially that left hand, to kind of gently press onto the leg to twist out to the right. Again, thread the needle is a great option here. So if this doesn't feel good, don't force it. Keep breathing. That's another good thing to check. Is it still possible to breathe? If not, come out of the pose. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly start to release that twist. Bring hands to the mat. And then we're going to come down onto the knees. And from knees, just slowly bring yourself to sitting and then lying down on the back. Find yourself on the back. Bend the knees once you have found your way onto your back. And just gently swing the legs from side to side. A few windshield wipers. You could open arms out to the sides. It might be nice to release the hands, release the wrists. You could move your hands, maybe open and close the palms a couple of times or circle the wrist joints. And then bring your legs back to center. Before we do the next twist, we're going to go into kind of thread the needle for the legs. You might also know this as the figure 4 pose. So we're going to now open the right hip and bring the right ankle or foot onto the left thigh. And this might be plenty enough. You could gently, with the right hand, open the right leg, right thigh, a bit like we did in that winged dragon earlier. Other option would be to lift the left foot off the mat and then reach hands to the back of that left knee or thigh. And just very gently hug the legs towards the chest, towards the belly. Last option for this pose would be to lift the left foot up towards the ceiling, so you're extending the left leg. You might walk your hands towards the left ankle or even reach for the foot if that is an option for you. See if you could now find a bit of a release in the right buttock, right thigh. After those standing poses, that long chair and those windmill lunges. Keep shoulders, keep neck soft. Take another breath in and out. Maybe breathe all the way down to the belly. And then as you exhale, start to release your left foot down if you've been hugging the legs. Close that right hip, and then we're going to twist out to the left. So we're going to bring both knees to the left side of the mat, and then open the chest up towards the ceiling. You could open your right arm away from the legs. Left hand could rest on the knees, on the thighs. So finding a reclining twist. And now allow this twist to be as relaxed as possible at this point. Letting your shoulders, hips soften. You might turn head to one side or the other. And you could take a few belly breaths here. So really allowing some softening. Release your jaw as well. Check that you're not biting teeth together. And take another breath in and out. And then slowly start to release the twist. Come back to center. You could do a couple of windshield wipers here again. And then we're going to do that thread the needle or figure 4 to the other side, and then that twist, that longer, relaxed twist to the other side. So when you're ready, open your left hip, so you bring your left ankle, left foot onto the right thigh. And again, you can stay here, maybe help with the left hand to slightly open the left hip. Or if you want, lift your right foot off the mat and reach hands behind the right knee or the right thigh so that you can then gently start hugging the legs towards the belly, towards the chest. Make sure there's no pain in the knee joint in that left leg, no pain in the hip joints. But more going for longer lines. Maybe finding some stretch in the left buttock, left thigh, maybe in the lower back as well. And you had the option, sorry, I forgot to say, you have the option to extend the right leg up. So feel free to go for that if that feels like a good option. Again, you might walk hands towards that right foot if that's an option for you. And just breathe here again, sending your breaths down towards the belly, down towards the hips, towards the pelvic area. Just releasing the legs after those standing poses. And then slowly with your next couple of breaths, start to release your right foot down. Then close the left hip. And again, you could rock the legs from side to side. And then we're going to go into that full twist. And on this side, we're going to bring legs to the right side of the mat. Let the whole pelvis rock over to the right side. And you could open your left arm away from the legs, maybe right hand resting on the left knee or thigh. That can help the hips to soften, kind of something weighing down the legs. And then just breathe here. Again, you might turn head to one side or the other. Soften through the neck, soften through the shoulders. And let your breath slide down and up along the spine. Each out breath softening you just a bit deeper into that twist. Take another breath or two in and out in your twist. And then we're going to slowly release the twist. Come back to center. And then we're going to find Shavasana pose here. You can release your legs on the mat. If you want, you could open legs into a butterfly shape. Or you might leave your feet on the mat. Maybe having knees bent is softer or more releasing for your back here. Find an easy pose. You could keep hands on your belly, or you could bring your arms down next to the sides. And we're going to find Shavasana pose for a few minutes here. Take a moment to focus on your breath. Take a moment to check in how you're feeling now. This is not the end of the practice yet. We still have a few twists. I'm going to take a moment here to check in. If you notice that you're holding tension somewhere in your body, feel free to adjust the pose. If you want, you might also slide arms overhead along the floor if that's more releasing for your shoulders now. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths here. Allow each out breath to make yourself just a bit heavier. You might let out a sigh, breathing out through the mouth. Take another couple of breaths in and out. And then after those couple of breaths, just slowly start to find your way down onto your belly. So from your back, just roll down onto your belly, onto your front. And we're going to go into a half frog with half broken wings. On the first side, we're going to bend the left knee and slide the left knee up along the floor into a place where you maybe feel some opening on the inside of the left inner thigh. And then you can either stay here, just focus on the leg, or you can slide your left arm under your chest and then lean your head down. Maybe bring your right hand under your head so that your left leg, your left arm are kind of going in opposite directions. Finding some subtle twisting, but also some opening on the inside of that left leg, maybe Some opening on the outside of that left shoulder, left arm. Allow your right leg to relax. And focus on breathing all the way down towards the belly. Down towards the pelvis. Take a few more breaths in and out. And then slowly in your own time, first peel your chest slightly off the mat so you can release your left arm. And then slide your left leg down. Rock the pelvis a bit from side to side. And then we're going to do same on the other side. We'll start now with the right leg. So rotating the right leg open, bending the right knee and sliding the right leg to the side of the mat. And either stay here, just focus on the legs, or just slightly lift your chest off the mat so you can now slide your right arm to the left side of the mat. And then lean your head down. And you could bring your left hand, left arm under the head. And again, just focus on breathing down towards the belly. Let your hips, your shoulders soften. Make sure there's no pain in the joints. If there is, you can always adjust the pose. You can slide your arm higher up or lower down. You can slide your leg higher up or lower down. Focus on another few slightly slower, deeper breaths in and out. Then after those few breaths, you can first release your arm, then slide your right leg back next to the left leg. Now bring both hands under your shoulders so you could bring yourself onto hands and knees, and then from hands and knees, find your way into a seat. And we're going to go into the shoelace, or the other option would be the fire log pose. Now, shoelace pose would be legs crossed, but so crossed that your knees are on top of each other or almost on top of each other. If that option doesn't feel good, you might bring your left foot onto the right knee, or bring your right foot in front of the right knee, like a square shape in the legs. But if it's possible to find the shoelace today, then let yourself bring knees roughly on top of each other, feet out on the sides. And we'll go into another seated twist here. Bring your right arm on the outside of the left knee or thigh, and then walk your left hand behind you. So similar to the twist that we did in the beginning, but now the legs twisted a bit more. Inhale, lift up through the head, and exhale, gently twist out to the left.
Focus on your breaths. Again, let the out breaths release you into that twist rather than forcing with the arms. The arms are there just to support. Soften through the neck. See if you can breathe all the way down towards the pelvic floor. Inhaling downwards and exhaling upwards, back towards the shoulders, back towards the head. Take one more breath in and out in your twist. And then slowly, as you exhale, release the twist. Come back to center. Leave your legs where they are. We're going to lean into a forward bend. So you could step hands in front of the legs. And see if you want to stay there. That could be plenty enough. If it feels okay, exhale, start to round your spine, bringing your head down. Maybe walking hands further forward. Your head might lean closer to the legs or even closer to the floor. Find your edge. As much as feels okay. Soften through the neck, through the shoulders. And breathe towards that back space of your body. Take another breath in and out in that forward bend. And then with your next in-breath, start to slowly roll the back up. You can walk hands closer to the legs. You can roll the shoulders, lean onto your hands so you can release the legs. Maybe swing them a bit from side to side. And then we're going to do same on the other side. So now crossing legs the opposite way. So your right leg on top. Or if you go for the fire log, then right foot on top of the left knee. Or again, you can bring your right foot also in front of the left leg. So find your crossing. If shoelace is possible today, if it's an option today, then find that shoelace. And then we're going to go for the twist. So now we'll bring left hand, left arm on the outside of that right knee or thigh, and then step right hand behind you. Or it could be just fingertips on the mat. Inhale, lift up through the head, and exhale, twist out to the right. Keep your buttocks heavy. And keep breathing down and up. Again, let the in-breaths move all the way down towards the pelvic floor. Finding some twisting through the ribs, through the upper spine. Softening through the shoulders, softening through the neck. It might be that the second side feels different. That's very, very fine. Take another breath in your twist. And then slowly with an out breath, start to release the twist. Come back to center. Keep legs where they are, if that's still okay. And we're going to go for that forward bend on this side. You can step hands in front of the legs, see how that feels. Pause there to breathe. Or if you want to go further, exhale, start to round your spine, maybe bringing head closer to the legs.
You might walk hands further forward, or you might even lean your head, your elbows closer to the mat. And then just breathe here. If you need to adjust the pose, you can adjust. Make sure you're not hurting in the joints, not pushing into the knees, not pushing into the hip joints. Take a couple more breaths in and out. And then after those couple of breaths, take a slightly bigger breath in. Start to roll your back up. Roll the shoulders. Maybe lean onto your hands and release the crossing in the legs. You could swing the legs from side to side. And then find your final seat. And just like in the beginning of the practice, that could be a cross-legged seat. You could sit on a block, you could sit on your knees. Where do you feel? You could leave the hips, the back, the shoulders soft. And then as you inhale, lengthen arms up. This time bring your palms together. Exhale, lower hands in front of the chest. Same again. As you inhale, lengthen arms up. You might look up. Bring palms together and exhale. Bring hands down in front of the chest. One more time. As you inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, bring palms together in front of the chest. And then you could leave your hands there. Or bring hands down onto your knees. We've come to the end of our practice. So it's time to thank yourself. Always, most importantly, thank yourself for taking some time to move, to breathe, to check in with yourself today. And I thank you all very much for joining in, for sharing these twists and the practice. Namaste. Thank you.